Hello, I'm David Sciplin with Caldwell Banker, and today we're here with Roseanna Ceballo-Riddle from the U.S. Bank. Did I get that right or I mess it up?
You did well.
Okay, thank you. Well, Roseanna, RC, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Glad to have you with us today.
Thank you.
So we're going to kind of talk about lending and what's going on there in the market. So the first question I have for you is, how long have you been in as a lender?
28 years.
Wow, it's a long time.
Yes.
So you've seen a lot of stuff.
I've seen a lot of stuff, been through quite a few of these markets, and worked in every aspect of lending.
Cool. So I've worked with you on many deals, and like you saved my butt on several of them. Thank you. My clients, thank you.
My pleasure.
So when you work with clients, what's your basic philosophy of how you deal with clients? Because I've seen you work with first-time home buyers, and you're very detailed as far as how to get them to where they want to go. So what's your overall philosophy of working with clients?
Well, one, it's event horizons is important to me, is figuring out where they'll be in 5 years, 3 years, 7 years, but most importantly, education. What does that mean to them? What type of loan are we looking at? How are we going to serve this family well? How are we going to help them meet their needs? So education is always key because we do use quite a few words in lending and in real estate that can confuse a client because we're using them in different forms. And so education is the key so that the client has a comfortable experience and is able to go through the process with points of reference.
Okay. It's good to know. Another thing is when I talk to my clients, when I basically during their first interview, I recommend that they speak to a lender within 3 to 6 months before they're ready to buy. I know there's a lot of things that go into actually the details that you need. So what kind of timeline do you need when you talk to new clients?
Well, it depends. If a client comes to me and says, I've already found a house, we've got to figure out where we're going to go with the current position they're in. Their financial position, their savings, their employment, is anything going to change? However, if a client has the opportunity to wait that 3 to 6 months, it really works in their favor because it gives us an opportunity to look at their auto payments, their personal credit cards. Is there something that we can work on removing that's going to maximize the buying power in a competitive market? And how do we strategically plan for their success and to meet that goal? So it really is dependent on the client. Some clients already know. Other clients, they just want some guidance so they can plan on successfully buying their home down the road. And so our goal is to cater to all of them depending on where they are.
Oh, very cool. So one other question I have is, in general, because of our market, it gets very tight. We have to write offers with crazy timelines sometimes.
Yeah.
And we push as much as we can to make sure that we're true in our offers, but it's tight sometimes. So on average, how long does it take you to close a loan?
Well, we can close a loan in as quick as 9 days, and fair and reasonable would say 17 would be a nice timeline given that the banks are not that busy right now. But we need to keep in mind that we're only as fast as the client is at delivering the paperwork.
Yes.
And that's the key. If a client is able to gather their pay stubs, their documents, everything we need, and then answer the questions that come from us reviewing those documents in a timely manner, we can meet or exceed expectations.
Right. In my buyer brochure, I have a little list of things that they need to give you.
Yes.
And that way, before they even talk to you, they have some idea of the information you need. And then you just fill in the difference. And then, hopefully they get their information to you quickly.
Absolutely.
As homes go, if they're priced correctly, a home's going to sell within 7 to 14 days, even in this tight market.
Absolutely.
So you have to make sure that the information is provided to a lender in a timely manner so we can get you into our home. We don't want you to miss that home that you really like.
Absolutely. And it speaks to planning ahead of time, not coming in on a fire drill, because there's so much that goes on with home inspections and making sure the health of the home is there. But then there's also working full time while trying to accommodate that and then trying to provide documents in a hurry. It creates a lot of stress and it takes away from that positive experience of being able to buy your home. And so to create a good environment and a positive experience, it starts with planning ahead of time.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. I totally agree. So thank you for being here. Is there anything that you want people to know in general about how you do business or you in general?
Well, one, we work with RSU income, so we have a lot of engineers in the Silicon Valley. It's super important that you know there are people that are quite capable of calculating the RSU income, calculating income that can only further your buying power. It may not be something you want to use, but it is something that will give you an upper hand when you're competing against other offers. It creates a lot of power. My background has been in underwriting, processing, drawing the documents, so the inside of the bank. The greatest gift that we give you is being able to tell your story, doing it well, and being your advocate as we go through the process.
Wow, really great.
Thank you
So
much.
please like and subscribe. So how do they get a hold of you?
Very simple. 408-348-7399 is my cell phone. You can text me, or you can leave me a voicemail. If it is urgent, always text and say, hey, RC, I'm so-and-so. I found a home of interest, and I'd love to run some preliminary numbers. It's a great time for us to get to know each other and to determine if it's the right home for you.
And I'll also put your email in the notes.
Yes.
So thank you, Roseanna,
Thank
for
you.
showing up.
I appreciate you having me.
Okay, thanks.